What is up guys, I'm back with another video. This time I'm going to show you how I do my chord stabs for UK Garage and other house genres in Serum. So this is the sound that we're going to make today. And I have a small surprise for you at the end of the video, so stick around. So enough talking, let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so we start by loading up Serum, and I have a small chord progression looking like this. You can just copy it if you want to. Okay, so the first thing we do is we set up the oscillator A and B. For oscillator A, I want to choose the Juno oscillator, and I want to have some kind of saw oscillator for oscillator B. I think the MB saw. And I want to put this up 1 octave. Then I want to add them to the filter, so we make sure that A and B is enabled here. And then I want to go for the MG low 18, put the filter cutoff down a little bit. Then we want to add some unison to the oscillators. I think put them to around 5 unison, put the detune down a little bit. And the same thing for the oscillator B, also down with the detuning. It's more like to get the sound a little bit more spread out in the stereo field. And then we want to sculpt the sound with an envelope for the amplitude and for the filter. So we're going to put up the release, decay a little bit, and maybe just have like tiny amount of attack. And then we're going to assign envelope 1 to the cutoff, put it down, and let's have a listen. Then I want to add some drive to the filter. And we also want to add a sub oscillator because I want the sound to be a little bit more full. So let's use the rounded sine wave. And then we also want to enable the filter for the sub oscillator as well. So let's have a listen. So yeah, just put the sub oscillator to -1 octave and then the level to around 50 to 60%. I just wanted to be there to add some kind of body to the sound. Okay, and then the magic trick to add some kind of analog emulation to the sound is to add the noise oscillator. And I want to use the Aircan 1. And then I want to put this one in one-shot mode. And it's this button, and it means that the sample is only being triggered when the notes are playing, and then it's not looping. And then I want to have it to key track, so it's following the pitch of the notes. I'm just going to assign it to the filter as well, and then just playing the sound and then increasing the level to where I want it to be. So I think around here, because it's barely audible, but it adds some kind of flavor to the sound, and I really like that. And now it's the big one. It is to add an LFO to modulate some of the knobs to add some kind of movement to the sound. So the first thing we do is we go to LFO 1, put it into unsynced mode, so it's not synced to any BPM. And then I want to just draw some random shapes. Perhaps there is an easier way to do this, but I'm just gonna do this. Please let me know in the comment if there is a quicker way to just draw random shapes in Serum, because I would love to hear that. So I think this is a random pattern enough for us to go on. Then I want to add this to the level of the noise oscillator. And then I want to go to the matrix, and then so it's going both ways. So this type thing, so it's going both up and down. And you can see this here. So just a little bit, which means that the level is going to change a little bit according to the pattern. And then we want to do the same thing for the resonance of the filter. So it's just being modulated a little bit. Then we're also going to assign LFO1 to the wavetape position of both of the oscillators. And it's just going to be like a tiny amount. So around here. So it's just a matter of making the sound change a little bit, and we can also add LFO1 to fine tune of both oscillators, and then just put down the amount to maybe around like 10 or so for both of the oscillators. So it's also just to modulate the fine tune. Okay, so now we're ready to go to the effects section to really like get something excitement to the sound. So the first thing, I'm gonna add a phaser, put it to a slow rate, and then the mix to around 35%. And I actually want to modulate the frequency, and then I want to go to matrix. Again, use LFO1 as the modulator, and then for the source, select the phaser frequency, and then put it up a little bit. And then we're gonna apply some distortion, and I'm gonna put this after the phaser, and I think I'll just go for the tube distortion. I think around here is good for this sound. Then I want to add some delay, just to make some more stereo stuff. Yeah, so put it to ping pong mode, so it's just going to left and right. And then we're gonna add a reverb. I'm gonna choose the plate reverb, and with some pre-delay, I'm gonna put up the size, a bit of low cut, so it's not being too rumbly, and the high cut is gonna be around here, and put down the width, and let's sample this in. Okay, so the width is going to be put up a little bit, and the width to around 20%. And then the last thing is to add a compressor to just glue everything together, and it's not going to be to compress too much. So put the rate here, and let's see how it's... So now it's just a matter of playing around with the cutoff filter. Just to find the sweet spot where everything sounds great to you. So this is the sound for the chord stabs. Try to use other oscillators, and also try to use other effects combinations to get your own unique sound. This is just how I would do it, but how you will do it is completely up to you. I have a small beat idea that I created, and let's try to listen to what the chord stabs do in a context with the beat. Let's go. I just love how this reverb tail is just being like so ambient. It's so crazy and amazing. Okay guys, that's it for this video. So I have a small present for you, and it is some free presets for Serum. You can find them in the link in the description down below, and this preset is also gonna be a part of the pack. So click the link and get your own copy of the preset pack for Serum. And again, if you liked the video, it would mean so much to me if you will smash that like button or even subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support me even further, you can go and browse some of my sample packs. The link is in the description. So I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.